This is the 5.4 compound interest worksheet. I'm going to do the odds on here. Just want everyone to know, make sure you have this up and from your notes or even from here, it doesn't matter. But you need to know, you need to know the equation and you need to know what each one of these letters or variables stands for. So remember, P equals the principal. That means initially how much are you putting down, how much are you getting loaned to you or loaning out. Rate is the percentage of what you're the rate of exchange, meaning what interest level are you getting. So you need to change that to a decimal. So if it's say 5%, you need to change that by moving it 2 spots over, so that would be 0.05. If it was 10%, you would change that again, still 2 spots over, but that would look like 0.10. N is the number of times it's compounded or hit in a year. So if it says weekly, well, there's 52 weeks in a year, so N would be 52. If it's annually means 1 time per year, so that would be 1. And then T is the total time. So for example, say over a 3-year span or over a 6-year span. That's normally the time in years. Okay, so knowing that and knowing our equation is A is equal to P times 1 plus R over N to the N times T exponent, okay? So we need to, in each one of these equations, find the P, the R, the N, and the T. So your P, your initial amount you're putting down in this first one, is 52,400. It's 6%, that's your rate, which we need to change that to a decimal, so it'll be 0.06. It's compounded annually, so that's 1 time per year. And then the total time is 5 years. So now we have these numbers right here, and we just need to put them in that equation. So let's do that. And I'm going to show my work on the bottom here. So if I'm looking for A, which would be the compound interest, and then so I would have what I initially put down is 52,400 times 1 plus my R is 0.06 and my N is 1. And then the exponents is N times T, so that would be 1 times 5. Now, what I would recommend you do is that after you have written this equation out, you simplify what's in the parentheses, and then you simplify the exponents. So if we do that, we're going to leave 52,400, and then we're going to have 1 plus, and then do 0.06 divided by 1. So 0.06 divided by 1 is 0.06. And then simplify this right here too. So 1 times 5 is 5. Okay? We can go even further. And this would be 1.06 to the 5th power. And then you multiply that by 52,400. So you could just put this in your calculator like that. I like to do one thing at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1.06 to the 5th power. Okay, and you're going to get a pretty long decimal there. But then take that times 52,400. And you'll get $70,123 and then 2 cents. Make sure that you label it because it'll be in dollars. So if I check my answer key, 70,000, 1, 2, 3, and 2 cents, that one's good to go. And we're not doing the evens. So we got 4 more. All right, so I'm gonna erase this work down here. Just make sure you are showing yours. But this first one is, the answer is $70,123.02. And then I'm just gonna erase these here. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna look for what our P is. So let's go to number 3. So your 2-year investment. So it tells you right there, 2 years. So I'm gonna put time, 2 years. It's $5,300. So 5,300. It earns 2.9, so 2.9, I'm gonna move the decimal place over 1, and there's gonna be a 0 there, so 0.029. And then it's compounded annually, so that means 1 time per year. Again, I'm gonna take this and plug it in. So it's gonna be 5,300, parentheses, 1 plus my rate of 0.029 over the number of times it's compounded, which is 1, and then n times t, which would be 1 times 2. So if I simplify this, I get 5,300, and then I would have to do 0.029 divided by 1. That's going to give you 0.029. So 1 plus 0.029 is 1.029. And then 1 times 2 is 2. So then I'm going to have to take the 1.029 and put it to the exponent first. So 1.029 squared it's going to give you a decimal of 1.058841. So then you're going to take that and multiply that by 5,300. So that's going to give you $5,611 and then 86 cents. We're going to round that, okay? So your final answer there is $5,611.86. Let's check our answer quick. $5,611.86. Now what that means is, so for example, if you did a 2-year investment where you put down $5,300 and you get 2.9% from that $5,300 investment, and then it's compounded annually, so it gets hit, or the compound interest gets hit 1 time a year, your total return, although you put $5,300 down, you're going to get in 1 year $5,611. So you'll get about $311.86. All right. Again, make sure you're showing your work. All right, number 5. Let me just erase this here. I would highly recommend that you get your variables first, like I'm doing on the left-hand side, so that you know exactly what to plug in. Your investment of $18,100 at 13.6%, so we're going to move that decimal over to, it's going to be 0.136, is compounded quarterly. So quarterly, so think about quarterly, like 4 quarters in a dollar, right? So quarterly, there's 4 quarters in a year. So the number of times it's compounded per year is 4 times. And then it's 7.5 years. So we're just put that as 7.5 years. So now I got my numbers. All I'm doing is plugging them back in. So my return is equal to my principal, or what I put down, times 1 plus 0.136 over 4, and then n times t, which is 4 times 7.5. So let's simplify again what's in here and up there. So I'm still going to have 18,100. I can't necessarily simplify what's here, but I can do 1 plus 0.136 over 4, and then simplify 4 times 7.5. So I'll just do 4.7 times 7.5 in my calculator, and I get 30. So now what I'm going to do is, in my, now you could do this in your own calculator and just, type it out, but I'm going to do 0.136 divided by 4, and then I'm going to add 1 to that because we do division before we do addition, and then I'm going to take that and raise that to the 30th power, and then multiply it by 18,100. So I'll say that one more time. So I'm going to do 0.136. I'm going to divide that by 4, and I get 0.0034. Okay? So I could do 18,100. If I add that, that'd be 1.034 to the 30th power. So now I have to take 1.034 to the 30th power, 1.034. I'm going to raise that to the 30th power. And you're going to get a very long number. It's going to be 2.726566692, and so on, and so on, and so on. Keep that as it is, right? But now we just need to multiply that times 18,100. And what I get is $49,350, and then we're going to round that to 86 cents. Okay, so let's check our answer. It looks like I may have done this one wrong. 13.6 compounded quarterly. So let's just recheck our answer quick. So I know it's 18,000. I'm going to do 1 plus 1.36 divided by 4, and then raised to n times t, which is 4 times 7.5. So let's do this one more time. We'll just redo our calculations. I'm going to do 0.136, and I'm going to divide that by 4. I get 0.034 plus 1 is equal to 1.034. I'm going to raise that to the 30th power, and I get 2.72 and change. And then I'm going to multiply that by 18,100, and I get 49,350. So I might need to check with Mr. Cladis about number 5, but I got $49,350. Make sure you're circling your final answers. All right, 7. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to write the equation up here. And then I'm going to get my variables. So let's just read this one out loud. You gave your friend a short-term 2-year loan, so 2 years, and it's $43,000, and it's 3%, so that's 0.03. Turn that into a decimal, and it's compounded annually, so one time per year. So using that, we're just going to plug that in, and I'm going to get 43,000 times 1 plus 0.03 over n, which is 1, and then n times t, so 1 times 2. Again, let's simplify what's in here and what's on the outside. So I'm going to keep 43,000, and then we have to do 0.03 divided by 1 is 0.03. So I'm going to have 1.03 on the inside, and then 1 times 2 is 2. Then I'm going to do 1.03 to the second power, because we do our exponents first. So 1.03 to the second power is 1.0609. And I'm going to multiply that by 43,000, and I get 45,618.70. And that is what Mr. Claus got, so we're good on that one. So your answer would be $45,618.70. Now, what that means is, so if you gave your friend $43,000, and you're like, all right, so this is going to be a 2-year loan, and then every year you're going to owe me 3%, and that 3% is going to be hit one time per year. So you loaned that person $43,000, they're going to pay you back a total of $45,618.70. So you've made about $2,618.70 off of that loan to your friend. All right, and then we got one more here. All right, you borrowed $95, so we know that the initial deposit, or what we're looking at, the number we're looking at is 95 for 1 year, so time is 1. And you have 5.2% interest. We're going to put that to a decimal, so it's going to be 0.52, and it's compounded semi-annually. That's important. If you don't know what that is, type that into Google. What that means is 2 times per year. Okay, so the number of times is 2. Knowing that, I'm just going to plug stuff in. And when I plug stuff in, I get what I'm looking for as my return is equal to 95, my initial payment, times 1 plus R is 0.052 over the number of times is 2. And then I'm going to take that to the exponent of n times t, which is 2 times 1. Once I have that in, I can simplify what's on the inside here, and then I can also simplify my exponent. So that's going to look like 95 times. What I have to do is, in that parentheses, I have to do 0.052. So 0.052 divided by 2, I get 0.026. So that would be 1 plus 0.026. So that would be 1.026. And then 2 times 1 would be to the second power. So now I take 1.026 and I raise it to the second power. I get 1.052676. And then I multiply that by 95. And I get $100. And then there are 0 cents, because it'd be 0.004 2, and so there's nothing we can round to. So it's $100 even. Now, I just want to let you guys know that if you wanted to, after you've done this, you could just type this into your calculator and it would work. You would get this. The reason why I like to do 1.026 to the second power first is that's just, I like to do things step by step, but this one would be $100.00. So then if I borrowed $95 for a year and there was 5.2% interest and it was compounded semi-annual, that means I would get hit with that interest twice in 1 year. I would have to pay back $100. So again, if I borrowed $95 at those terms, I'd have to pay $5 back. So I'd be paying $5 for that loan. So again, make sure you know these. Be fluent with them. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or Mr. Gladys, and we'll make a video for you, or we'll address it in class. All right, thanks a lot, guys.